All right. I know this was a requested topic. You guys wanted me to talk about contracts, and it's something that I don't have a whole lot of experience with because I'm kind of just rolling out um, like short form contracts for a lot of the jobs I do. For a long time, maybe the first 3 years, I want to say, of my career in this, I was not using contracts. I was doing a lot of short form content for people for just Instagram and the gym. And I wasn't going to make people sign contracts for that for like $250. So I would just kind of show up, film, turn around. There was no problems, no complications. And when I did have a contract, I would save it for bigger projects, things like weddings, quinceañeras, things that were over $1,000 in their budget that required me to be there for multiple hours in the day. And I think it looked more professional than just text message agreements showing up doing the job. Like things can get out of hand if they wanted more, if they thought they were getting specific things. Like you just want that verbiage to protect yourself in case something like that comes up. For instance, recently I did a quinceañera and I did send a contract to the lady. Her communication style was very slow, so it took her a while to get the contract back to me, but she eventually signed it. All the terms are there, the scope of work, the date, the location, the time, duration where I was going to be there, the payment terms, the payment amount, all the stuff that I need, the revisions and all that stuff. For what she chose, she wanted me for 4 hours, 1 to 4 minute, no, it was a 2 to 5 minute highlight reel of the day or a highlight video of the day, no raw footage. Like she didn't want any raw footage based on the contract. So went, did the job, shot the stuff, turned it around, sent it to her. She loved the video and then proceeded to ask, when will I get the raw footage? Like when will I get the dancing? All the stuff of the family just by itself. And I said, oh, you didn't agree to that. Now I sent her 3 options when we were going over everything. And one of the options did include the raw footage, but I think it was outside of her budget, which is perfectly fine. But she chose to not get that package. So I showed her the contract. We agreed that there was going to be no raw footage. This is what you're going to be getting. And I think if I did not have that contract, she would have blew up on me because she just started to blow my phone up with text messages. Oh, I thought it was this. You know, I've hired a guy before and he gave me everything. And just proceeded to tell me like, oh, I thought. But she signed it and it was listed there, plain as day. There was no confusion in the verbiage. It literally said no raw files. So everything she was requesting, she had already agreed to by signing this paper. And if that was a situation where I didn't have a contract, it could have got messy. And I'm just glad that I had that. It was a good little safety net to protect myself in case she wanted to go through any legal action or anything like that. And you want to be able to have a system or something like that set up so that you can do that. Now, take it from me, I'm not somebody who has a whole lot of systems. I actually lean on my wife. She's helping me with creating short form contracts for a lot of the listings that I do because I do a lot of real estate. Sometimes the listings are far away. They require a quick turnaround. And I just want to make sure that I'm protected in case they want extra stuff that they thought they were getting because they worked with another photographer or blah, blah, blah. They're always going to say that. I worked with this person and they did this. So they expect it from you. And if you don't have a contract or anything written down, you're going to have a hard time fighting that back and forth. And you just don't want to deal with that. So if you are curious to get it out the way, I've heard of Honeybook having great templates for you, Jotform having some quick little templates for you, and Bonsai. Those are all quick, easy. If you just want templates already set up, you change the verbiage here and there, it's already there for you to work your system to work it out. I currently working on a system, or my wife is for me, for a system that if somebody wanted to book me, they don't even need to call me. They don't need to text me at all. They go straight through my system, see how much it costs for this location, these pieces of scope of work. The rate will give it to them. It'll spit out a contract based on everything they listed, and I'm good to go. Like I have the contract, have the payment, and I know what I'm doing without ever hopping on the phone. That's what I'm currently working on. And if you don't have that, I would suggest you lean onto that because it's a more professional look. Now, something I recently learned is that if you don't have a contract, say you're just text messaging your client, your potential client, and you're going over the scope of work, they agree to it, you do the job, and it's set. That text message thread is legally binding as long as you have certain parameters in it. So if they ever try to take you to court, you can literally screenshot the whole conversation of the parameters like scope of work, the location, the time, the payment, revisions, turnaround time, all those things, and you would be safe. Now, I don't necessarily want to lean onto that every single project because you might be talking to a lot of people like me and you might forget to write something down and then it becomes a whole thing. Like even for today, I had a job or I have a job at 4:30. Somebody contacted me and asked me if I was available for a 12 o'clock job. And I am. I don't have anything to do right now until 4. So I'm going to take it. For this one, I don't have a contract made. So I'm making sure that I have everything in the text message, the terms, scope of work, all that stuff, so that the text message thread will be my legally binding contract, so to speak. And sometimes that happens. You're going to have a situation where something comes up last minute and you might not have time, or you don't have a template made, or whatever that case may be. But you want to make sure you can at least write certain parameters in your text thread so that it can be legally binding for you and you don't get in trouble later. Things like the scope of work, the date of the agreement, the location of the job, the date, the payment amount, payment terms, turnaround time, and any revisions. Like, list all of these things out so that it's clear and make sure that they agree to the terms. I'm going to be working on moving forward, making sure people say, I agree to the terms, just so I can screenshot it and I'm good to go. Thankfully, I've never had an issue with that. Like, the people I work with are pretty good with just telling me what to do. I tell them how much it costs and we move forward. But just to make sure that things are legal, I'm going to add those little things just to protect myself. So if you're like me and you don't have templates made, you don't have HoneyBook or any of those things or systems, and you're just using your contract, just make sure you have those things listed to protect yourself. And in case of any legal action, you don't have to worry about that headache. But that's it for this video. I just wanted to touch base on those things really quick. I learned some new stuff, so I was excited to share it. But keep writing in the comments the things you guys want me to cover. Make sure you subscribe, share this video if you know somebody who might be able to use the information, and I'll see you in the next one.